I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Rushing like a bullet into the end zone. Defense, hold up, no scoring in the red zone. Throw it up, pick 6, I feel like I'm Josh Rowe. Throwing dimes over the shoulder, think I'm Jack Winmo. I need me back to back, trying to be like Vulture. Cause a storm, cause I'm mighty, it's in the culture. Esports TV, YouTube, Twitch, SFL live tuning, you don't wanna miss. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Next level like my entertainment. NXT on the stream, 8 p.m. on the beat. Catch me on the cam like I'm SFL commence. Yeah, you only got one chance, you can never miss. For the glory, revolution, feel my fury. Cause I'm a legend out in Canton, and I'm playing with dragons. I'm the king of this legion. SFL action, tuning this season.
Kickoff! Are you kidding me?
All they're gonna need is
big pop, it's up in the air!
Oh, God.
There it goes! That's how Chico City's gonna win!
He's gonna go! Taser power! Touchdown!
I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them.
And welcome. We are live here from SFL Studios along with Mike St. Green. I am Cameron Irvine, and today's game day, week number 5, Vancouver and DC. Mike, how you doing?
Hey, doing great, Cam. Great to be here for an exciting week of and night of SFL action.
It should be a great one. Vancouver and DC getting us started off here on Next Level Sports. 3-1 Legion, 3-1 Dragons. Their only losses are to the defending champion and unbeaten Baltimore Vultures. The last time they played, Mike, 55-52 in favor of the Legion, and Tom Pepper set the SFL record for passing yards in a game. Pepper's now retired. Enter Christian Brown, but this game's got fireworks and drama and excitement written all over it.
Yeah, 3-1 teams, as you mentioned, only lost to Baltimore. So, you know, we're expecting a great game between both of these teams. Last time they met, as you mentioned, 107 points combined, and these guys put up over 1,200 yards of offense combined. So we're going to possibly see some of the same things today. A lot of the players, a couple of the players that were involved are not involved with this game tonight. As you mentioned, Tom Pepper retired. Kendra Hall, she's moved on to Canton. She had 10 catches and 305 yards in the last meeting that these guys had. She had a monster game as well. But, step in Christian Brown. Christian Brown, he's come over. He's done a solid job for Vancouver, trying to fill the shoes of Tom Pepper. 9 touchdown passes. He has a QBR rating of about 98. So he's done a solid job since coming over from St. Louis.
And they've even got some new merchandise, Mike. What can Brown do for you? Stealing that one. I don't think they use that tagline anymore now, Mike. So Vancouver gets to use it, and the Legion are ready to go and try and prove their worth on the road. They were at Baltimore. Now they're at D.C. Some would say you get the Pacific Division. You get a couple of games against some tough teams on the East Coast, especially the way the Pacific's been playing. We'll see Seattle a bit later this evening, but in bonus coverage tonight, Mike, it's the London Knights and the Sioux Falls Sparrows coming up in about a half an hour on the SFL Twitch channel. You can see that game in full, but we'll have live look-ins for you right here on NXT. Huge game. Unbeaten London, 3-1 Sioux Falls.
Definitely a measuring stick game for both teams. Sioux Falls comes in 3-1, London 4-0. The last regular season loss that London had was to Sioux Falls. The Knights have been red hot over their last 15 or 16 games only with 3 losses total, including the playoff that goes with 13 wins that these guys have had. So London, a measuring stick game from the standpoint, this is the last team that beat them, but also to prove that, hey, they're not a fluke right now, and they are one of the top teams in the league.
It's incredible, Mike, what London's done over that 16-game stretch in their last 16 games, and I think they're really out to prove that this hasn't been a case of soft schedule. This is a case of they really are championship contenders.
Yeah, I mean, in that 16-game span, it's not like, these guys have played a bunch of cupcakes between then and now. Baltimore, they kind of had, the Knights number over the past couple of seasons, and that was their loss in the playoffs last season. But other than that, these guys have played excellent and over the past season and a quarter right now. And, I don't think they have anything to prove to anybody, honestly. So it's going to remain to be seen tonight, but these guys have nothing to prove, win or lose.
Should be a great one. We hope that it lives up to the billing. Vancouver and D.C. Mike Daggs, Gerald Smith have your call. Ron Haynes, Justin Reside on stats. When we come back, you're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Stay tuned.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Week 5 SFL action continues this evening in our nation's capital as the DC Dragons play host to the Vancouver Legion. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Daggs, and joining me in the booth is the man who is too afraid to get a tattoo, Gerald Smith. With us on stats, Justin Reside and Ron Haynes. You are watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Gerald, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I'm tattoo-free.
Yes, you are. Gerald, tonight's game is a rematch of one of the greatest games in league history, assuming that you love a good passing offense. Back in Season 17, just over 1 year ago, these teams met in Vancouver in a game that saw a combined 1,237 yards of passing and 11 receiving touchdowns. Over 100 points were put on the board that night. Then Vancouver quarterback Tom Pepper set the SFL passing record that night as well. DC quarterback Shabazz Synergy made 68 passing attempts and completed a whopping 48 of them. Overtime was required to decide the winner, and Vancouver took the win with a field goal. Tonight, these two teams again feature top 10 scoring offenses, but their passing games haven't been quite as explosive as seasons past. So, that being said, what should we be looking forward to in tonight's matchup?
Oh, Mike, I'll tell you what not to look for, and that's the fireworks. I just don't see that happening this time around because both teams now they're able to take care of the football. DC is number 1 in the league with only 3 turnovers through the first 4 weeks, and Vancouver has only 7 times turned over the ball over that same span. Both teams are among the league leaders in turnover differential, with both teams being in the top 4. Whoever wins the turnover battle in this game should come out on top.
All right, well, as Matt Wilson would say, there's only one way to find out, and that's on the field. So we'll get down to the field and get this started. Chance to win for Vancouver, kicking it off. DC will take the field on offense first. But first, the return up to the 25-yard line. That is where Shabazz Synergy, the 6-season vet, will come out onto the field for the DC Dragons. Aerial coverage of today's game is brought to you by Dags DroneWorks, aerial photography and videography services in New York State. Find them on Instagram at Dags DroneWorks or visit their website, dagsdroneworks.com. Synergy under center for first down. Has time, throws a short pass right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to actually net
Oh
a
my
loss of
God,
1.
no.
And Kevin Say is down. And that's a devastating blow to the Dragons offense, Gerald.
That's off for it being the first play of the game, and it's oh man. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. Maybe he's got the wind knocked out of him or something, but it's holy cow. He took a hard hit.
Took a hard hit to the side, so hopefully you're right. Hopefully it's just he got the wind knocked out of him, but we will see. We'll keep our eyes out for an update. Backup running back Kevin Samuels now in for the Dragons. We didn't even get through the opening lineups yet, Gerald. Synergy to throw on second down and 11. Checks it down to Samuels. Samuels able to gain 5 on the play. Sets up a third down and 6, the starting offense for the Dragons. Sebastian Synergy at quarterback. Kevin Say normally at halfback. Now Kevin Samuels. The fullback is Chuck Steller. The wide receivers, Gus Scott, Ronnie Shanahan, Mike Churchill, and Josh Gill. The tight ends are Lauren Percoco and Craig Westlake. 4 wide receivers and a tight end on third down and 6. We're going to see a lot of synergy tonight now at this point, especially depending on the outcome of this injury. And that will move the chains for a first down up to the 37-yard line. Quick little dump down pass. Good for the first.
Yeah, I think that was a good rebound, especially that second down play where they were to get some yardage and get it third and manageable, and then be able to dump it off to the wide receiver right there. So, and I do think Synergy having the least interceptions in the league right now coming into this week is going to play big. Hopefully he can keep a clean game.
Synergy, short drop, firing down the right sideline into coverage, tipped and nearly picked off. Gerald, you darn near cursed him right into the hands of cornerback Major Key, waiting for that pick.
Maybe it's the weird voodoo I got being from Louisiana. I have no idea.
You wearing beads and stuff right now? Like what's going on with voodoo?
Yeah, man, I got my dolls and my pins. You know, I'm ready.
We don't need to hear about your doll collection. Second down and 10. Synergy, short drop, fires into traffic again. That one's also incomplete. Will bring up a third down and 10. The starting defensive lineup for the Legion. Defensive lineman Achilles Papatonis, Cabron Womack, and Gerald Giudice. The linebackers Josh Farnsey, Earl Fields IV, and Marquise Reed. The corners Major Key, Dean Maddox, and Michael Lister. The safeties Mark Lopez, Will Stern, and Drew Hamilton. Third down and 10. All the wide receivers on the field now. Synergy in the gun. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Synergy pumps, fires down the right sideline. That one's taken away straight into the hands of Major Key. He almost got one the first time, and this time he does come away with it. And that will set Vancouver up with great starting field position in DC territory.
I think it looks like Synergy may have second-guessed himself on where he was going with that ball. He pump faked, and then he tried to throw it deep, and Major Key was all over it.
5th interception on the season for Major Key. He was 3rd in the league coming into the week and adding on to that total. And out on the field now on offense, Christian Brown, the quarterback for the Legion. Brown to throw on first down, a nice out route down to the bottom, getting it into the hands of the wily old veteran Brett Killian. Good for a gain of 5. The starting offense for the Legion. Quarterback Christian Brown, the halfback Robert Redford, the fullback is Sawyer Stern. Wide receivers Justice Blackwell, Hector Huxley, Brett Killian, BK12 himself, and Chris Curtis. The tight end is James Walters. Shoring up the left side of that offensive line is left tackle Mike Coverson and left guard Michael Percoco. Redford takes the handoff on 2nd down and 5 and is able to gain 4, setting up Vancouver with a 3rd down and 1, just on the outskirts of field goal range.
Yeah, I think this is a difference we're going to see between both teams here, especially if Peanut Say can't come back, with them being able to use their star running back the way Vancouver has so far in their first drive.
Brown under center on 3rd down. And he'll throw on 3rd and 1. Pumps, checks it down to Redford, several yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that will lose 4, setting up a 4th down and 5, and they're going to have to punt, Gerald.
Yeah, I don't know what Christian Brown was seeing downfield. If he would have threw that ball a second or two earlier, he would have hit Redford in stride, and he would have got the 1st down easily.
Brian Patrick on to punt for the Legion. Gus Scott back deep to receive for the Dragons. And a fair catch called for at the 11-yard line. So a couple of empty possessions for both teams on their opening drives. DC throwing an interception and Vancouver having to punt. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, you can visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And the handoff is given to Kevin Samuels. Still no update on Kevin Say. We'll keep an eye out for that. 2-yard gain for Samuels.
Yeah, and them being pinned back as deep as they were, I think we're trying to play caution, at least on that first play, just to give Samuels a run to try and get themselves out of there. But it almost seems like the formation here, like they're going to give it to Samuels again.
Yeah, offside eye in the backfield, and they will throw. Synergy gets it out to Samuels in a swing route, and that one goes for no gain. Sets up a 3rd down and 8 as injury report watch continues.
Yeah, the Samuels just doesn't have the speed that Say has, and those linebackers they close pretty easily. So I do think at least early on, until we get an update on Say, I think it's going to be on Synergy's back and the wide receivers.
Synergy currently 4 of 7. Seeing if he can complete this one. Hit as he throws, diving and incomplete. I thought he might have had it, but that one goes out of bounds. 4th down and 6, just over his head.
Yeah, Womack was all on his back. Had he not been there, I do think he had him open, and that would have been a 1st down. That would have been a big 1st down for him to get him out of that hole and to keep the ball moving. It's just, gosh, I just feel bad for DC right now, especially early on. I mean, they lost, one of their best players on the first play of the game.
Yeah, it's just gut-wrenching to see any player go down with an injury, and on the very first play from scrimmage. That hurts. Don Wilson standing in his own end zone to punt. That one goes right out to about midfield, returned up to the 45-yard line. So 3 yards better starting field position this time for Vancouver. Not able to do much on their opening possession. Christian Brown was 1 of 2. Robert Redford had a carry for 4 yards, but then a reception for -4. So net sum 0 for Redford so far, but I'm sure we'll see many more yards piled onto his total throughout the day. Brown to throw on 1st down. Gets it into the hands of Redford. Spins and gains 9 up to about the 37-yard line. Starting defense for these DC Dragons, Syed Gore, John Gary, Jose Fuentes, and Benny Butcher are the defensive linemen. Declan O'Rourke, Riley Cuse, and Nathaniel Diggs are the linebackers. John DeSantis, Peanut Say, and Daryl Bullock are the corners, and the safeties, Ty Woodson, Jorge Torres, and Josh Vasquez. Brown back to Redford. Redford with room to run. Spins and gets all the way up to the 22-yard line, moving the chains.
I think head coach Andy Hamilton gave Christian Brown an earful on that last drive because these first two passes on these screen passes right here were right on time, and he's gotten, some chunk yardage in both.
Yeah, absolutely wide open on that one. First down and 10 just outside the red zone. Brown, quick pass over the middle into traffic, and that one is incomplete. Trying to hit Justice Blackwell, and there's the report. Yeah, that's bad news for the Dragons. Say will be out for the duration of the game. Kevin Samuels is the back for the remainder.
Next man up for DC. He's got to come out and he's got to produce, and hopefully his teammates can help him along the way as well.
So second down and 10 now for Vancouver. Brown to Redford once again, just like that last play. Gerald getting some good yardage on that one as well. Third down and 2.
Yeah, I think early on right now Vancouver's just taking what DC's giving them. Seems like they're playing off, and it seems like they've done their homework really well, and they knew that it was going to be open with the dump off to Redford, and it seems to be proven true so far.
Josh Vasquez patrolling the defensive backfield on this third down and 2. Brown under center. Gets it out to Redford again. They have not been able to defend this so far yet on this drive. Moving the chains once again. First down and goal.
Yeah, they're getting a heavy dose of Robert Redford so far. Would they have one pass to a wide receiver so far that was incomplete? No, they had two.
No, they had the
two
one
passes.
pass. One was they one attempt out to Blackwell. That was incomplete. They also did connect with Killian, but all the rest have gone to Redford. 41 yards receiving now for Robert Redford. Brown looks, fires towards the end zone. That's tackled right at the goal line. Hitting his tight end, James Walters, second and goal from the goal line itself.
Yeah, Walters ran a good route. I think as they started approaching the goal line there, I think DC started more keying on Redford coming out the backfield. And I do believe once they started looking in the backfield, they left Walters right over the middle wide open.
Brown short drop, throws, gets it to Redford. Redford walks in for the Vancouver touchdown. That one was too easy.
Yeah, it was wide open like he's been the entire game so far, right there in the flats. I mean, it's going to be it's too easy. Shoot, there wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him. It's like they didn't even see him.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's the play that got them all the way down the field. Just kept doing the same sort of route over and over. At some point, DC's going to have to adjust to that one. 1 yard passing touchdown after a 7-play, 54-yard drive. Extra point away from a 7-point lead. Extra point is up and good. 7-0 Vancouver over DC here in DC. And now we'll get another look at the DC offense, Gerald. It's an offense that has ranked 25th in passing yards per game, but 12th in rushing yards per game so far this season. I mean, when you have a back like Kevin Say, that's who you lean on. He was 10th in carries, 5th in yards, 10th in average, 5th in touchdowns. All his rushing production. He also was 9th in the league with total number of receptions. Had 236 yards through the air as well. So a massive piece of the offense knocked out. He's actually was the leading receiver on the team as well as the running back. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt.
Yeah, but I mean, you have one of the quarterbacks in the league that has thrown the least amount of interceptions, and he is one of the most efficient ones. He's top 5 coming in this week. I think if Synergy can get in a rhythm, I think he can get the team going.
Synergy hands the ball off, and there we go. A decent run right there from Samuels as he's able to run off tackle to the left and gain 7 on the play.
Yeah, the way the offensive line blocked on that was perfect. A man on a man and everybody, and it gave him a tons of room. Look at that right there. Great blocking right there on the outside right there.
Yeah, Josh Gill from the wide receiver spot with a nice block to spring Samuels free. And that's what they're going to need. They're going to need the other players on the team to step up, not just in the receiving game, but also helping opening some running lanes for the inexperienced Samuels. Synergy to throw on second down. That one is complete. Gets it into the hands of rookie tight end Craig Westlake. And Westlake's able to get the first down, moves the chains at the 36.
And that's almost like a little run as well, right? Something like that. Get it out quick, right? And that way they can move the ball. You know, they have a couple of guys on their team that can do that. You know, between the fullback and the 2 tight ends that they have, I think they should, you know, be able to, you know, get their game plan right now that they're missing save.
3 receivers set now. Synergy, wide open over the middle, connecting with Gill in Vancouver territory. No correction, that's Mike Churchill with the catch. Tackled at the Vancouver 49.
Look, and he ran a great route, and Synergy wasted no time getting that ball. He wasn't pump faking that time. He was open, and he got the ball to him quick.
Yeah, the only disappointing part of that play was that Churchill couldn't stay on his feet. He had room to run if he didn't have to go down to the ground to catch that one. But great gain nonetheless.
Maybe Shabazz was a little bit excited and threw a little bit too hard. He had to reach for it.
3 receiver set again on first down. Short drop for Synergy. Pressure coming. Down he goes. Sacked back at the 47-yard line. And who got there? Oh, it looks like it looks like it was Gerald Giudice with the sack.
That was a coverage sack. I mean, they were in man coverage. Everybody had on him, and he just didn't see anything that he liked, and I guess he didn't want to force it like he did earlier in the game, throw an interception, especially now knowing that you don't have one of your best players on the field with you.
3rd sack this season for Giudice, setting up a second down and 14. Samuels with the handoff only gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that'll be a 3rd down and 14 now, and I would have liked to see a pass there on 2nd and long, Gerald.
Yeah, I think that would have been the best thing for them to do there too. Try and get some of that yardage they lost in that sack back. I just don't think with Samuels. I don't think Samuels is strong enough to be able to run between the tackles like Say is.
4 wide receivers and a tight end in the set for the Dragons, throwing over the middle, and that one is caught for a gain of 10. But because of the sack yardage, that will leave them well short of the line to gain. Gus Scott with the reception, but 4th down and 4 from the 43. You know, and this is the sort of territory where it's like, do we just go for it? But they're trotting out Don Wilson once again to punt.
Yeah, I think their defense is playing pretty good early on. I think right now, doesn't have them in a terrible situation. And plus, if they can somehow pin Vancouver back, I think they'll be all right.
Well, they do just that, Gerald, just as the doctor ordered. It's pinned down at the 4-yard line. Great special teams coverage by the Dragons.
Yeah, I like the fact that he was able to grab the ball and stop. Bullock made a very good play and been able to
see that. We didn't see that last week, Gerald. They grabbed that ball and run into the end zone like they were taking it home.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, man, get the taser out to just make them freeze when they get the ball down there, you know?
So Christian Brown back on the field, gets it back out into the hands of Redford, picking up right where they left off. That time good for a gain of 4. Redford, 7 receptions, 38 yards, and his receiving touchdown now. James Walters, the second leading receiver on the team with 1 catch.
That was a perfect play for them to get them out from inside their own 5. They know it's been successful, especially on the last drive. Why not start with it on this drive?
Right, exactly. 2nd and 6. Brown trying to go downfield. Oh, wow. That almost cost them dearly, throwing it right into the hands of Peanut Say. I can't believe he didn't come down with that one.
I saw him throw it. I thought it was picked. I thought it was going the other way. Look, and that would have turned the game upside down, I think. Right? Yep. It would have definitely put the momentum, in the home team's favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Pin them deep and then get a pick deep in their own territory. But not to be. 3rd down and 6. Can the Dragons stop them? Brown over the middle, and that one is into coverage and incomplete. Was trying to hit Chris Curtis, and it falls harmlessly to the turf. 4th and 6. They'll have to punt. Punter's going to be standing deep in his own end zone, Gerald.
Yes, and this is going to give DC really, really good field position. And one thing I've seen by the DC defense on those last couple of plays, they played man coverage. It seems like when they play man coverage, they get pressure, everybody is covered, and then they get some contested catches. They had their hand on the ball the last 2 passes.
Patrick punts this one away, and look at this field position. Gus Scott takes it up to the Vancouver 32-yard line. So, that's what DC is going to need. They're going to need a little bit of help, and the best way to do that is to have some good defense and good special teams setting them up and good opportunities like this. They're already in field goal range.
Yeah, they're definitely in Paudy's range already. I like this. I like how they're starting out right here.
Yeah, they're like, all right, Samuels, go ahead and stay on the pine for now. Synergy's got work to do. Badge under pressure, down he goes. Back at the 38-yard line, a loss of 6 on the play.
Womack, he just overpowered that guy, and I don't even think that was a swim move. He just like, excuse me, sir, let me just slip right in.
Tyrone Asher, the left tackle, not able to hold him back. Womack now with his 3rd sack on the season. 2nd sack of the ball game for the Legion defense. Synergy, short drop, throws over the middle, and that one is pumped for a 1st down all the way down to the 17-yard line, and that will bring us to the end of quarter number 1. So Vancouver out in front, but DC on a drive. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll be back after this. Stay with us. And welcome back to our nation's capital. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith. Bringing you today's game, Vancouver Legion versus the DC Dragons. Synergy to throw, gets it out to Samuels. Samuels able to get a few yards on the play. And Gerald, that's a pretty good way to use him as well. Get him a little bit of space to work with.
Right. So, and just what I was saying there, like I don't think they're going to be able to run him in between the tackles. They're going to have to get him on the edge and get him a little bit of space. That way he can find the space that he needs. I think he might be a little bit intimidated running up the middle against the big boys.
I would agree, but it looks like they might try to do it anyway. And they do. Samuels. Well, maybe he's not intimidated. He's just not quite as strong as you'd like. They're down in 2. Nice gain of 4, though.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he saw a really big boy run right by him. He's like, I need to get out of here.
I gotta go. They're down in 2, well within field goal range, but they're not looking for 3. They want to get this one tied back up as Synergy is in the gun on 3rd down, 3 receiver set. Synergy to throw, quick pass over the middle into traffic. That one's incomplete. Trying to connect with Craig Westlake, and it falls down to the turf. 4th and 2.
Man, it looked like it hit him right in the shoulder.
Yeah, I think he should have caught that one, but rookie tight end. He's got to learn how to watch that ball into the hands. It'll come to him.
Man, it may have been Lauren Prococo maybe there, right?
Could have been. I think they both might have been in the area. Ponte on for the field goal try, and that one is his 9th of the season. Good from 26 yards out. Getting that O off the board. 7-3. Vancouver still out in front. Esports TV has partnered with the SFL to bring sim football to millions of homes over the next 2 years. ESTV is the world's first 24/7 live, linear, and video-on-demand esports channel, available everywhere through your smart TV, on your phone, through Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and more. You can visit estv.co to learn more about its programming and to find all the ways that you can watch the SFL action on the network. Kick return brought up to the 22-yard line by Justice Blackwell. And we'll see Vancouver's first possession of quarter number 2.
And I would expect to see what they've already been doing, right? Just giving it to Redford and letting him do his thing, especially if DC is going to keep giving him space.
Brown hands that one off to Redford. Redford churning the legs, but can't really get much on that one. Only gains a yard. Brought down on the play by Declan O'Rourke.
One thing I find really interesting, you don't see too much around the league, is DC. It has that 3-4 defense that they've been running, and they're coming in right now.
Opposite eye formation for Vancouver, and they are getting gashed on this one. Redford off to the races, crossing midfield down to the DC 43-yard line. And you could see Synergy on the sidelines, just like I think he threw his Gatorade cup right into the turf. Frustrating.
And they had great blocking, little fullback right there. That had propelled Redford, because that was the only guy left at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Sawyer
the
Stern
fullback ran.
block.
Yeah. Sawyer Stern just blew him up.
First down and 10 in DC territory. 3 receivers out wide to the right. Brown throws a short pass over the middle, and that one is complete for a gain of 7. Sets up the Legion with a 2nd down and 3. After there's the wily old vet Brett Killian. I don't think he liked when I called him wily or old earlier, but he is old. He's the longest tenured player on this roster by a lot. 11 seasons in the league, all of which have been with the Legion. The only other players with 11 seasons, Chris Curtis and Marquise Reed, and Brown goes down, sacked back at the 48-yard line. That's what the Dragons need. Benny Butcher getting the sack. Defense helping him out.
Yeah. Oh, that was almost a head slap. Did you see that? Is that legal in the SFL?
If there's no flag, sure is.
I thought he was giving him like a swim move or something. No, he gave him no head slap.
Christian Brown, deep drop going down the left side. Oh, picked off, taken away. Picked off by Ty Woodson. And the Dragons take over at their own 34.
It looked like Christian Brown was trying to fit it in a hole. He did it was a little lofty pass. And I don't know if he didn't see him or he thought he had more juice on it than what he did, but I guess he didn't.
EK12 tackling Woodson.
Man, that's a great DB name, ain't it? Woodson. Right? Is it not?
What makes it such a good DB name?
Oh, man, like Rod Woodson back in the day in the NFL, no?
It's just like a strong family name, you're saying.
Oh, I guess.
Synergy checks it down to Samuels. Tackled for a loss of 4. That play was not going to work. Josh Farnsey getting the TFL.
Yeah, that was almost dead from the get-go. It's hard for those running backs to get their momentum back, especially once they stop and they get the pass. It's hard for them to get their momentum.
Synergy to throw on 2nd and 14. Deep down the left side. He's got his man heading down the sideline. Only Drew Hamilton to beat. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. Josh Gill with a huge touchdown reception.
It looked like on that play, Synergy threw him open. He threw it where Josh Gill could get it, and he had to jump up to grab it. The defender was out of position for even making a play on the ball, and then Josh Gill just grabbed it out of the air and ran it in.
The 6'4" Josh Gill using every inch of that 6'4" frame to haul that one in. His first touchdown on the season, and it couldn't have come at a better time, as the Dragons were looking for a way to get something done on offense, and they take the lead with 7:26 to go here in the first half. Extra point try by Pawty coming up. Extra point is up. It's good. The Dragons now out in front, 10-7 over the Legion.
They've each kind of turned the ball over here, but it seems like now Synergy is showing why he's one of the more efficient quarterbacks in the league. You know,
absolutely.
He had that early pick, but then he came back and he's been pretty efficient with the ball ever since then.
Yeah, absolutely. 11-16, 129 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, that touchdown came, like you said, Gerald, on the opening possession. And, second possession they had to punt. The third possession they punted once again. But then finally, in the second quarter, they've had 2 drives, and both of them have been scoring possessions. First, a 6-play, 18-yard drive, ending with a 26-yard field goal. And then they only needed 2 plays to get that next one done, a 70-yard touchdown pass. It's a 2-play, 66-yard drive, but it ended in a 70-yard touchdown pass because of the loss of 4 on the first pass. So all's well that ends well. Christian Brown back out on the field now. Oh, Redford with room to run. And he'll get the first. No, he'll come just shy of the first down on that catch. 2nd down and inches.
And that's what's been getting Vancouver all their yardage mostly, right? You've been seeing, them dump it off to Redford and just letting him run wild with the ball. I would just do more of that if I was Vancouver at this point, right? Because all your other drives, when you try to fit it in elsewhere, it just hasn't been working. DC's been prepared for it.
Yeah, I would agree. Also be interested to see Redford rush some more, too. He's only had 3 rushing attempts, but, they're going to keep on throwing for right now, and that's going to cost them just a little bit as he loses enough to have it register as a 3rd down and 1 instead of the 2nd and inches that we had to start that snap.
Declan O'Rourke was all over that. I don't know if you saw that. He's like, nah, man, that's not happening this time.
He's like, nope.
And he was right. And he had an offensive lineman chasing him. Said, man, come back. I'm supposed to block you.
Brown to Redford in the backfield. Redford gets the first down and more. Another great block. Got him some yards there. The defender was right in the area but couldn't get to Redford.
Yeah, Declan O'Rourke, the offensive lineman picked up his block on that one. Declan O'Rourke thought he had something, but the offensive lineman picked him up. That's number 69. What is that, Derek Nice?
Yeah, it is indeed. Derek Nice, the guard, the right guard. Out of the 2 guards, you expect Michael Percoco to be the one that's making all the plays, but Derek Nice getting it done there. So you see all the other receivers on the team, the forgotten bunch. Christian Brown's just flinging it all around the field, Gerald. He's thrown the ball 17 times, but his receivers are not really netting many of the stats. Meanwhile, Robert Redford, 11 receptions for 80 yards. You know, there you go.
And his yards per reception isn't too bad either, with over 7 yards per reception.
Hashtag throw it to the halfback is what I always said. Well, there you go. It's working. It's working for him in DC territory all the way down to the 35-yard line now. Moving the chains.
See, and I would be concerned about this, like as the game goes on with Redford getting all these touches, but what they're doing, they're finding a good balance with it. They're not rushing him too much, but they are giving it to him out of backfield. So he's getting his, desired amount of touches. That way they don't gas him out without rushing him too much either. So, and it's what's getting him down the field. That's what got him in position to score on their first scoring drive.
We may actually see a rush on this one, Gerald. And we do. Redford taking the handoff and gaining 3. And trying to use him in every way possible as Riley Cuse gets in on the tackle. 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Redford's even lost a step at all either. I mean, he still hit the hole quick.
I formation in the backfield on 2nd and 7. Short drop by Brown. Out route down to the bottom. A rare tight end sighting as James Walters gets the catch. He'll gain 6 on the play. Sets him up with the 3rd down and 1.
I think Christian Brown was like, no, man, you get the hashtag wrong. Hashtag throw it to the tight end, not the running back.
That's right. That's what I always say. I forgot. Got to get Walters more involved. Want to see more Percoco and Westlake on the other side. It's a winning formula, Gerald. Brown says, nope, Redford it is. Redford gets the 1st down and a little bit more, tackled at the 22-yard line. Just chipping away at the Dragon defense. No huge plays coming out of the Legion offense, but it's getting it done.
Christian Brown took a hit on that pass. I was kind of worried about him because he was hit right as he threw the ball.
Redford takes the handoff, tries to get off tackle to the left and can't. They'll actually net a yard on the play, but that is all. He's wrapped up and brought down by Roan Porter.
And this is where the DC defense is going to have to start tightening up right here. I mean, you don't want to give them any more. You got them in a 2nd and long, right now, and hopefully if they can stop them, they can force a 3rd and long, and then it goes into their favor.
Brown out route to Killian up top, sets him up with a 1st down and goal, tackled right at the 10-yard line.
And that outside wide receiver on the outside there, it's like he ran a clearing route. He ran across the middle, ran like a post pattern, cleared out the area for Brett Killian to just hit that out route, and he was wide open.
Yeah, that play, that worked well. Same sort of formation here. Could see it again. Brown with the hard count. And they go right back to Killian's. Momentum carries him out of bounds this time. 2nd and goal from the 4. Killian gaining 6.
And they've done perfectly on this drive with their play calling so far. Giving it to Redford, everything's short, everything's safe, which is good. If you're moving the ball, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I think this is a situation where we're probably going to see some sort of a screen or swing pass to Redford.
Double-digit plays on this drive. 11 plays, 72 yards. Trying to get it into the end zone. They can't. Sacked at the 11-yard line. The Dragons came with pressure that time, and it worked.
DC knew what was coming. If we had a replay on you better see, you would see the DBs, the corners, move up into the flat area along the line of scrimmage, would cause Christian Brown to hold on to the ball, which helped his teammates get that sack.
5 wide for the Legion. Brown, end zone, touchdown Legion! Connecting with Killian for 6.
8. I don't have nothing to say. Had a good defensive play and a good offensive play.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
I think
play by the defense and great play by the offense to follow it up.
right. Usually man coverage works great. It looked like there was in a man coverage on that one, and with them being a man coverage, you have to get pressure on the quarterback, and they didn't get there soon enough. Because if you leave, your defenders in man coverage too long, those receivers are going to get open, and Christian Brown was able to find one.
Third touchdown on the season for the young man, Brett Killian. So he doesn't fight me later. Chance to win. Extra point is up and good. Vancouver back out in front, reclaiming the lead this time, and out in front by 4 points. To win, getting the ball teed up, ready to get it back to the Dragons. Gus Scott back deep to receive.
That was a great answer by Vancouver, by the way, on that drive.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you give up a big play to the Dragons, and then you're able to methodically work your way down the field. And return up to the 21-yard line. We've got an update from Sioux Falls. Send it back to SFL Studios. Cameron Irvine, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Dags. Mike, this team can block.
Yeah, Cam, Robert Merrill and this great London offensive line is continuing to make things look easy. He gets in the end zone for his 11th touchdown of the season, and London's up early in Sioux Falls 7-0.
Back to Mike and Gerald, NBC.
Thank you, Cam. The undefeated London Knights out in front on the road. And Samuels able to rush forward for a gain of 5. So, Gerald, less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Down at their own 26-yard line. What are you expecting to see on this drive?
I don't expect them to do anything that would jeopardize anything, getting a bigger deficit going into halftime. I think they're going to play it safe, and hopefully they spring a big play.
Samuel's trying to hit the hole off tackle to the left and can't get anything on that one. 3rd down and 6. As we approach the 2-minute warning, see if they get the snap off in time or if we'll wait till after the break. Synergy does not get the snap off. 2 minutes to go here in half number 1. A close game here in DC. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. And welcome back. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 3rd down and 6. Synergy will throw. Going over the middle. Nice catch. Wide open at the 41-yard line. Synergy with 154 yards now on the day, connecting that time with Mike Churchill for first.
He got right behind the coverage. He ran a good route. Synergy had some time, but he still got it all pretty quick. I know that probably sounded like it didn't make any sense, but it makes sense to me.
It all made sense in the head. It's just once I said it, I don't know what it meant. Synergy under center on first down. Going right back to Churchill once again, connecting and getting into Vancouver territory, tackled at the 47-yard line. Coming up on the APM Music halftime report, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will break down the first half between the Legion and the Dragons, recap the best of Week 5 around the SFL, and check in on London Sioux Falls. It's all coming up on the APM Music halftime report. But first, we have a game going on here. Gus Scott with the catch, 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, they wasted no time after 2 runs early in this drive, just having 3 quick passes to get them some chunk yardage and getting them almost in field goal range.
Churchill with 51 yards now on 3 catches. Synergy with 3 receivers out to his right. Goes over the middle and hit. And beautiful throw and catch by Josh Gill. And DC will call their first timeout. 1st down and 10 inside the red zone at the Vancouver 15.
Synergy got the protection he needed on that one too, just to let that route develop. And he was able to get behind the safeties. And that's not something you typically see, especially from a Vancouver defense. But he was able to get past, over the top of the safeties and was able to hit him.
Josh Gill already passing the 100-yard mark on the day. As the Dragons are forced to rely on their passing game. Sidearm throw in, catch is made. And they'll go up into the hurry up with 50 seconds to go.
I think they're in a good set to be able to score.
Synergy looks, fires, end zone, and it's incomplete. Synergy looking for the flag on that one.
And he didn't have to throw the deep route. He had a couple of his teammates on a little bit of a shorter routes there that he could have hit and possibly, got in the end zone for the touchdown.
Drew Hamilton looking to get a takeaway to end this drive. Synergy under center on 3rd down and 1. Synergy to throw, gets it to Samuels. Can Samuels get the first? He can't. Didn't have the wheels to do it. Tackled at the line of scrimmage, 4th and 1, and DC will call another timeout.
That's the lack of speed and explosiveness from Samuels there. That early on, right whenever he dumped it off, it looked like he had him and like he was going to pick it up, but he just didn't have that burst of speed like a Say does do it, and the defenders are able to close on him rather quickly.
22-yard field goal try for Potty from the left hash. Perfect on the season so far. High snap, kick is up, and it is good from 22. DC cutting into Vancouver's lead. Now trailing by 1. So 34 seconds to go. Gerald, do you expect Vancouver to do much with this next drive, or do you think they'll be content to hand it off to Redford, run this out? They do get the ball back to start the second half.
I think they're just going to give it to Redford. They're probably going to dump it off to him out the backfield. If they're able to get some explosive plays, I think it's going to be a plus for them. So if you see them get to the, close to the midfield stripe, I think they're going to start utilizing their timeouts.
Game update from Sioux Falls. Cameron Irvine, what do you got?
Mike Dags, I got a Sioux Falls answer.
Yeah, Cam, Sioux Falls did a great job of answering that long London drive with a long drive of their own. And you see Julian Tyree finds A.J. Warren on a nice little out route, sneaks him into the end zone, and Sioux Falls is up 7-6 in the second.
First touchdown for the season for Warren. London's extra point was blocked. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cam. London has never beaten Sioux Falls in their 3 previous matchups, and right now trailing by 1, the undefeated London Knights. And, well, Gerald, they didn't just go to Redford. They threw it, but in no particular hurry.
Oh, I think this is going to be the chance. And they're coming out in the passing formation here.
And they will throw. Christian Brown, out route. Oh, gosh. Oh, he caught it.
Wow.
I thought that was picked.
Whoa.
Oh, well, that was an exciting way for the first half to end. I thought that was going to be a pick 6, and then, nope, it was caught. I thought he might break it away and actually score. Justice Blackwell, look at this.
Yeah, I thought he slipped out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought a lot of things happened on that play, none of which actually came to fruition. Thought DeSantis had a pick 6. Nope. Oh, Blackwell, he went out of bounds. Nope. I thought he was going to score. Nope. Oh, well. 2-minute break for us, and then we will go to the APM Music Halftime Report. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports. We'll be back. And welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report, along with Mike St. Green. I am Cameron Irvine, and here at the half, it is 14-13 DC over Vancouver without Kevin Say. The DC Dragons down just a point, Mike, and holding serve pretty good without, obviously, their star on offense.
Yeah, Cam, you could actually hear the collective groans in the DC area on that after that first play. Kevin Say going down, but they've done a great job of hanging tough and really giving the Vancouver Legion all they can handle.
Let's go back to that last play of the half. Justice Blackwell, what do you think, Mike? I mean, he had a chance to go out of bounds. It would have gotten him 3 points maybe before the half because he was in field goal range, but he had green grass in front of him. I'm not sure how close or how well he knew that the defense was kind of trailing right behind him.
It looked like it was a possible score to me, Cam. If it were me, I would have probably chanced it and tried to get to the end zone.
I know you would.
we know me. I'm going to try to score every time I touch it. But yeah, it was a 50-50 play, and then it would have been a long field goal try either way. I can't really fault Justice for trying to get into the end zone right there.
So 14-13, Vancouver's up a point. And it should be an interesting second half. DC gets the ball to start the second half. Plenty of action going on around the SFL. There were 10 games this weekend. 4 of them are tonight. But we saw some great ones. And we start Out west, Arizona and Las Vegas last night. It was a doozy, Mike. We pick it up in the third quarter, tied at 13, and that's when Joseph Green started to heat up. A deep shot to Doug Britton for the touchdown.
Yeah, Joseph Green, he was, on fire in the second half. A great pass right there, hitting Doug Britton, and then that's really got things rolling for Las Vegas.
Here is the play, Mike. Joseph Green, deep launch, 70 yards, and he caught it. And it brought the house down, Mike. One of the greatest throws in SFL history. Your thoughts on this, because we haven't gotten to discuss this yet.
Yeah, it was an amazing play, Cam. I mean, I put my hands on my head and like said, wow, sitting there watching this game last night. It was an amazing play. Joseph Green ducks the sack attempt by Hunter Norwood and just kind of just launches it. And Mason Kirby finds it on the other end. Incredible play. One of the best plays you ever see in this league.
Pick it up in the fourth quarter. Vegas still up and still on fire. Scott Johnson, who didn't have many carries last night, Mike, but every time he touched the ball, he was explosive, finished with over 100 yards rushing, just 8 touches on the ground.
And that kind of was the story of the second half. Everything that Las Vegas did was a huge play. We see another play right here. Scott Johnson breaking a couple of tackles, taking it to the end zone for another long touchdown. And that was kind of the theme of the second half for the Fury.
John Blades gets up off the ground and goes and picks up a block at the end of that play, which was just a sensational play. You're going to see it here again. Watch Blades. Okay, he's gonna fall down right there, and then he gets back up and picks up the last block on Gamble for the touchdown. That's teamwork right there.
Yeah, that's an all-star play right there, Cam. He'd already picked up one block and then said, hey, I still have some work to do. Let's get up and get another one.
This pick by Max Jackson pretty much put the game on ice. 51-33, your final. Vegas beats Arizona. Minnesota Motor City on Friday night. This one was a doozy. Tied at 13. We pick it up late in the fourth quarter. A defensive slugfest. Johnny Reno looking for somebody to get open, and it's picked off in the end zone to keep Motor City alive.
Yeah, this game was kind of back and forth like this. Who was going to, make the big play to win the game? Both offenses kind of struggled a little bit. All can you just say both defenses played extremely well and keeping the teams out of the end zone and off the board.
Pass picked off by Mark Kaufman. So in a tie game with 16 seconds to go, Motor City's on the move. They had already moved the ball 40 yards since the pick, and Cody Griffin picks it off. He is one of the league leaders in interceptions and acquisition from Queen City, Mike, and he had 2 in this one.
Yeah, this entire Minnesota defense is playing very well this entire season, and they are one of the few teams that really shut down that Motor City V8 offense.
Final play of regulation was caught, but Buchanan Simons unable to get in the end zone, and that is how regulation ended. So we went to overtime as Minnesota trying to get to 3-1 as an expansion team. 2 minutes in, Ibrahim Krieta is sacked. That's trouble, and that's more great Minnesota defense. Mark Mello and Angela Meerkat combining for 4 sacks.
Yeah, Mark Mello on a big sack right there, coming over from Arizona, going over to the Legends, and great sack to keep these guys, getting the ball back in overtime.
So on 4th down, or at the end of the drive, rather, Motor City would have to punt it away. You see the team stats in that game. Motor City's Krieta sacked 6 times. And Minnesota in good position despite 4 turnovers in the game. Banks returns to the 49-yard line, and the Legend are in good shape. 8:26 to go in the overtime period. And Minnesota, just enough offense, able to turn it on late in overtime. Reno out of the shotgun on a 3rd down and 7. And Reno connects down the field. These receivers, Mike, were making clutch catches in sometimes double, even triple coverage in this one.
Yeah, nobody doing anything special, just making the catches that they needed to make, and they're setting them up in field goal position to try to win it here in overtime.
Mickey Malillo with the 46-yarder chance opportunity. Watch the helmet. Oh, kicked him in the head and hit the game winner, Mike. Minnesota wins 16-13. Los Angeles at Charleston last night. Pick it up 13-0. Charleston on top late in the first half, and that's when Logan Jack got busy finally with linebacker Eric Hammer out with an injury for Charleston.
Yeah, Cam, this is actually turning into a little coast-to-coast rivalry. These teams met in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago in Charleston and played a tough, tight game similar to this a couple of seasons ago.
This was key just before the half because LA had no momentum in this one. 30 seconds to go in the first half, and this is just a dime. LZ Pryor in the back of the end zone has been a force in this LA offense, and just like that, it's a 6-point game.
Yeah, nice little drop back and pass, and Sully Richardson finds LZ Pryor in the back of the end zone to get LA on the board.
So 13-7 going into the half. We flash forward late to the third quarter. You see the total stats there. Charleston sacked 4 times. LA sacked twice. It was a defensive line, defensive slugfest type of game, Mike, but I mean, it was fun to watch if you love defense.
Oh, definitely a game that was fun to watch. Like I said, it had that playoff intensity like these guys had a couple of seasons ago. And then we see Richardson with a nice dart right there to set LA up into the red zone.
Jack Flash with the reception, and it seems like a distant memory that LA was down 13-7 because now they lead. Not the prettiest pass there from Sully Richardson, but it works. Pass caught by Shea Carroll, and Los Angeles takes the lead, but 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Charleston would respond. Kentez Johnson clean in the pocket. Finds Saren Storm for his first catch. That gets the ball into LA territory.
Yeah, nice dart right there by Kentez to find Storm to set the Predators up in Lycans territory.
Keith Swearingen had a lot of touches last night. 38, I believe, to be exact. Gets the ball into field goal range. Has Charleston set up pretty. Johnson just has to take care of the football. He does just that. Wide open receiver on the outside. And with 5 minutes to go in the game, it really slowed down after that. But, Mike, in the end, this field goal was all Charleston needed. 16-14. That's your final. Atlanta hosted Denver on Friday afternoon, and we picked this up in the second quarter. 14-3 Night Wings. It was all Denver early until this, Mike, from Don Fletcher.
Yeah, Don Fletcher with a nice little step in front of the route right there. Takes it all the way back for the pick six. And Atlanta, they turned it into the kings of the swing games. They were up 17 points the prior week. They were down 14 here. But, they came back and made it a game.
14-10 at that point. Don Fletcher, first pick six of his career. They were looking for Bryce Battle, who's had a great start to his season, as has Eric Price. And Atlanta kind of really flipped the script that they had last weekend, Mike. They were up 17-0 on Lone Star and then ended up collapsing in that game. But in this one, they were able to find some momentum after getting down early. 4:15 to go in the second, still same score. BDG Hollywood getting going. And look at Mitchell O'Brien out there, the fullback doing work. And BDG's off to the races.
Yeah, BDG is really having a great season so far this season, Cam. He's been breaking off big runs after big run, and he broke off another big one right there.
At the Denver 35-yard line, Dynasty connects with Jamal Wooding. You see more from Wooding on this drive just before the end of the first half. Second goal at the 4, 10th play of the drive. Dynasty, Wooding, told you. Atlanta ended up taking the lead into the locker room, Mike, 17-14.
Yeah, Dynasty, he had a great bounce-back game. He had a tough second half against Lone Star last week. Great bounce-back game. He finds Wooding in the end zone for the score.
Nearly picked there, but 27-21, more Atlanta offense. Boo Chisholm with the score. Atlanta up 13. And you just felt like, even though this was a 13-point game, Mike, at this point, you just felt like Denver just had no momentum, and they just weren't going anywhere. Eric Price getting a little desperate here on first down 13, threw it into triple coverage. Atlanta ends up getting to 3-2.
Yeah, once that game turned from 14-0 to Atlanta going up, all momentum was on their side, and they did a great job of really, putting the pedal down and pouring it on the Night Wings.
Siege Falco, over 40 for Atlanta, and the Atlanta Swarm get the win. That's your best of Week 5 here so far. Vancouver leads DC 14-13 at the half. And right now going on in Sioux Falls, Mike, this Sioux Falls defense has come to play. They are up 7-6. Just picked off Johnny Pickler in the red zone. Your thoughts on what you've seen in that game in the first half?
Yeah, as you mentioned, the Sioux Falls defense have picked off Pickler twice so far in this game. Robert Merrill, the great running back over there, he's done a great job in his first half, already over 1,000 yards and over 100 yards and a touchdown. But the Pickler interceptions have really kind of made the London offense kind of sputter a little bit.
Don't forget, it's a doubleheader tonight. Coming up next here on Next Level Sports, Seattle and Baltimore at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. That'll do it for us at the half. Mike and I will be back here in postgame. 2 games, same time. That's how we do it here. 14-13, Vancouver leads DC. We'll be back. This is your APM Music Halftime Report.
Welcome back to Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. The site of today's game, D.C. Dragons versus the Vancouver Legion. Legion, 1-point lead here after the first half of action, 14-13 over the Dragons. Gerald, it was kind of a back-and-forth sort of first half. The Dragons starting off throwing a pick, and then Vancouver having to punt, D.C. punting, and finally Vancouver getting some points on the board, but a quiet first quarter, and then some scoring fireworks to be had in the second quarter as DC is able to put up a couple of field goals and a touchdown.
One
Vancouver putting up
yards.
another touchdown of their own, but the story of the game so far, Kevin Say, the running back for DC, being out, but so far they're hanging in there.
As Redford takes another swing pass and runs for 10+ yards. Yeah, I think the story of the first half, for both squads were where their defense is, right? So those guys stood tall, for the first half to minimize the points that both these teams have scored per game this season thus far.
So 1st down and 10 from the 37-yard line. Brown hands it off to Redford. Redford able to break one tackle, can't break the second. Gain of about 6 on the play.
Man, he must have drank some good stuff at the half, man. He's coming out swinging. Robert Redford is.
Robert Redford, 6 rushes for 52 yards in the first half, had over 100 yards receiving. On pace for player of the game type material right now. Brett Killian with another catch. now over 13,000 yards on his illustrious young career. And he's actually also got enough receptions now to move from 7th all-time to 6th all-time, passing the retired Ken Gossett. More wide receiver set here on first down. Brown, oh, that one right off the head. Way to use your head, Mr. Linebacker. Nathaniel Jakes heading the ball. He thinks he's playing soccer out there.
He hit it with his face. It's like he lunged right to hit it, and I don't think he knew how much power he had in his leg. He lunged his face right in the path of the ball.
He was looking at the rule book for that British football. You're allowed to head the ball there. Brown to throw, quick pass, wide open is his target. That is Chris Curtis catching the ball, getting it into DC territory. Up to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, I think the DC defense was caught looking at Robert Redford there, seeing how, Vancouver's been kind of dumping it off to him, for most of the game, for most of the yardage in the passing game, and they just, took their eye off of Chris Curtis. He found that empty space, and Christian Brown didn't miss.
Trips to the right for the Legion. Brown, quick pass. Oh, hits Killian. Killian all the way down inside the 10, tackled at the 9-yard line. A great catch and run by BK12.
He just ran a streak route, it looked like. He just ran a streak route, ran right by him. And he just missed it. But that's what, look, if you play man press coverage like they were, and you get a step on that DB, you're in good shape for making a good pass as long as your quarterback hits you.
28 more yards for Brett Killian, and Killian quickly approaching, potentially taking over the number 2 spot all-time in receiving yards. But first, Chris Curtis, not to be left out of the action. 2nd down and goal. He catches that one for a gain of 7.
Yeah, and again, DC played that man coverage. Chris Curtis ran a good route right over the middle. Offensive line gave quarterback enough time.
Vancouver with their foot on the gas now, looking to get a touchdown on the opening possession of the second half, and nearly throwing a pick in the process. Declan O'Rourke getting right in the path of that one.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass. I don't even think he'd seen him, or he didn't leave Chris Curtis enough. God, if he'd have waited a split second more, he may have had a little window to get it through, but he just threw a little bit too soon.
I agree. A half second more, and he would have probably been able to get it past him. But O'Rourke with the pass deflection added on to his stats, and a 3rd down and goal now for the Legion. Brown takes the snap in the gun. Quick pass over the middle. Hits Curtis. Touchdown, Legion.
I want you to watch Chris Curtis on this play. He bumped off the linebacker that was covering him and created such space for himself. He blew him right off the line. See him picking himself up off the ground right there?
Yeah, Riley Cuse.
Yep.
Well,
right off the line.
Trucked him.
Yeah, Chris Curtis trucked him over. He creamed him.
He creamed him.
He creamed him.
He creamed him.
Yeah,
I think
he creamed him and got wide open for a touchdown.
Chris Curtis with the receiving touchdown, 4 receptions, 33 yards, and the touchdown on his stats today. Extra point try coming up to win. Kicks it up. It is through. Vancouver 21, DC 13. You can visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams. All the places that you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. You can see all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, and the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. And now it's up to DC to respond. Starting with a nice kick return, getting that one up to the 30. And a little extra pushing after the whistle, perhaps. No, excuse me, tackled at the 23-yard line, not the 30. I can't see. My eyes are not as good as they used to be, Gerald. We're getting a little older.
Maybe Brett Killian can say now you're old because you can't see.
I was waiting for that. As I was saying, I'm like, I'm setting myself up for failure here, and oh well. Sebed Synergy back out onto the field on offense, 17-23, 198 yards in half number one. Now over 200 yards on the day with that quick pass to Churchill, his 4th reception of the ball game.
It's gonna be real interesting to see how DC is gonna respond, especially after Vancouver, took that opening second half drive down for a score. The defense didn't hold up for them on that last drive, so hopefully the offense can produce something here.
Ball is handed off to Samuel, and he's able to get a first down. Samuel's rushing forward up to the 36-yard line. Nice gain of 6.
Man, that right side of that line just opened up for him to just run right through.
I formation now on 1st and 10. Synergy to Samuels. Samuels only able to net a couple on that one. Not going to be able to use that sort of route to their advantage much in this one with Say out for the game.
No, I don't think that's the route they need to take, and they almost look like they're lining up, especially in the 2nd and long for another type of play to them.
Yeah, these are not the halftime adjustments we were looking for. 3rd down and 4 now. I mean, that's it's not terrible to get a rush for 5, but with a 3rd down and 4, almost forces you to go into a passing situation here.
Well, I think I don't think they're going to run. I mean, I just don't think they're going to be successful in the run. I mean, but it does open up for a variety of pass plays, though.
Synergy to throw out route up to the top. That one's good and wide open. Was his target, getting out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And that'll move the chains, keep the drive alive.
It being right on that sideline, I wouldn't be surprised if Andy Hamilton throws a challenge flag. How he caught it and how he had to kind of lunge forward and try to keep running looked like he may have not gotten a foot in, but I guess Coach Hamilton, it happened right in front of him. Maybe he had a better look than we did up here.
Yeah, he was taking some big strides, so you never know. Sometimes it's questionable where they got those feet down. But Synergy getting it out to the fullback, Chuck Steller, getting involved in on the action. Only able to gain 1 on the play.
And this is going. It almost looked like it's going to mimic the last 2nd down play they had with 2nd and 9. Let's see if they can get some yards here.
Synergy to Samuels. Samuels crosses midfield, but not much more. Tackled at the 49-yard line. Will set them up with a 3rd down and 7.
Man, I'm not sure. I question that last call right there. I mean, you got to get yourself more yards than that. You can't put yourself in a 3rd and long situation.
7-play drive, looking to keep it alive here on 3rd down and 7. Synergy, out route up top. Lauren Percoco with the catch and the run. Gets the first down and more. Tackled at the 32-yard line. A great catch and run for Percoco. Her first reception of the ballgame.
It almost looked like she just leaked out right there. Like nobody knew she was there. She was there. Linebacker was there. Oh, linebacker got caught up. It was like almost a little pick happened there.
Yeah, she started to block on the play first, Gerald, and then broke free and ran off into the out.
Yeah, and Farnsey, by the time Farnsey realized it was a little bit too late.
Great play design by the Dragons. Synergy still keeping up that efficiency, Gerald. Short drop, and one-handed catch. Getting it out to the other tight end, Craig Westlake. Only good for a gain of 3, but continuing that efficient work, 23 of 29 Now 24 of 30, actually 231 yards on the day with the touchdown, 96.0 QBR. Second down and 7 now. Synergy to Samuels. Oh, Samuels 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, but he makes up for it, crossing the 20 and all the way down to the 8. Samuels with the catch and run. I thought that was going for a loss, but they turned it into a big gain.
I believe it was the center, James Judah. Watch him right here. Bam. Gets that guy right there and just keeps it. And that propelled him go through.
He blocked
Right
them all
there.
to the bench. Look at this.
Right.
He's like, nope, nope, get out.
He's trying to push him up into the stands up them stairs.
Well, it worked. First down and goal for the Dragons. Both teams with great opening possessions in the second half. Can DC turn this into points? Synergy over the middle and towards the end zone, tackled at the goal line. Once again, connecting with Percoco. Second and goal from the goal line. Gerald, I know you hate it when you see that.
Like she was in.
He was in. But ref 62 says nah.
Watch this ball. It's on the line.
11-play drive. Yeah, well, he wants to see a Samuels run. Let's see if we see one. Synergy throws back corner of the end zone, diving out of bounds, incomplete. Made the catch, but had to extend a wee bit too far for it, throwing it to Chuck Stellar. And Stellar, not so stellar on that one.
Well, maybe if Chuck was, maybe 6'4" instead of 5'11", I think he drags his toes in there.
Well, they'll get another shot at it. Third down and goal. Synergy will throw out down to the bottom. Oh, nearly taken away. Trying to connect with Craig Westlake, but swatted away by Dean Maddox. And that'll bring up a fourth down and goal. And Gerald, I know that they're probably just going to bring Ponty out and kick the field goal, but gosh, they're so close.
It kind of makes you question now, like, hey, look, you think this close? Hey, you're right on the goal line. You should be able to punch this in, but it's definitely affected, like their play calling, not having say in there.
Well, yeah, that would have at some point in that series there would have been a handoff to say in an I formation, just punch it right up the middle, But it was not to be. I would have liked to have seen maybe a handoff to Chuck Stellar instead of the pass to him, just a fullback handoff, fullback dive out of the eye. But field goal is up, and it's good from 17 yards out. DC cutting into Vancouver's lead. So both teams have some points to be had out of their opening possessions of the second half. Vancouver able to put up 7. DC only able to put up 3, but still a one-score ball game. Gerald, now it's going to be up to the DC defense to try to keep them in this one, and Vancouver obviously looking to make this a 2-score game for the first time tonight. Kick taken up to the 22-yard line, and I believe we have another game break from Sioux Falls. Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios.
Thank you, Mike. St. Green, London finally opens it up.
Yeah, that London passing offense has been struggling most of the game, but Johnny Pickler finds Fox Highwind on a deep route here, and he scores and put London ahead 13-7.
And just ran for a first down. That game entering the fourth quarter, back to Mike and Gerald in DC.
Thank you, Cam. Christian Brown getting it into the hands of Robert Redford. Saw a lot of that in the first half, as you can see by the receiving stats for Redford. 15 receptions for 106 yards. Worked well for him in the first half, Gerald.
Right, he's been the bell cow, getting all those passes thrown out to him.
2 wide receivers out to the right here on second down. Brown will throw, out route down to Brett Killian. Good for the first down up to the 40-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play.
That play right there has been one of the most successful plays for Vancouver. It seems like when that outside wide receiver runs that clean route The wide receiver that's on the inside in the slot does that out route, and he's typically wide open.
Killian now 18 yards away from number 2 all time as he gets another catch there and is able to get it even a little bit closer.
Vancouver's being really, really efficient. It seems like they both had the same mindset coming in, being efficient with everything that they had, and not giving the defense anything for the opposing offense to be able to capitalize on either.
Killian in the slot once again. See if they go back down to him on that out. And nope, they go up top to Redford this time, and well chosen as they get another first down back in DC territory. Just like that, Gerald, they're just moving the ball with ease on offense tonight.
Right. Sometimes, especially on the DC defense, right, in a situation like that, whenever pre-snap Christian Brown's determining whether he's going to throw to Robert Redford or not, when you run man coverage, the linebackers typically aren't fast enough to be able to get to him soon enough.
Brown to Redford. Redford able to get 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4. Next weekend on Next Level Sports, coverage of the SFL continues with a pair of exciting matchups. On Saturday, watch the surprising and rising 3-1 Minnesota Legend face the unbeaten London Knights in a championship contender litmus test. Sunday, a pair of rivals will attempt to get out of division cellars when Seattle hosts Portland. For a channel guide and more info about Next Level Sports, visit NLSE.com. That Robert Redford run up the middle will set Vancouver up with a 3rd down and 2 and bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books, 11 minutes remains here in DC. The Legion out in front, 21-16 over the Dragons. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to DC. 3rd down and 2. Brown to Redford. Redford will get the first and a little bit more up to the 34-yard line. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Redford now with 186 all-purpose yards between running and receiving. Brett Killian with 94 yards himself. Only 3 yards away, Gerald, from taking over that number 2 spot all time in receiving yards.
Yeah, man. And the crazy thing is he spent all of his seasons in Vancouver to get all that productivity.
Redford on second down is not able to get anything going there. It'll be 3rd down and 4 after a loss of 1.
This is this could be one of the biggest third downs of this game for the DC Dragons right here. Because if they can,
100%.
So if they can force a field goal attempt right here, I think it's a win.
Brown under center on 3rd and 4. Drops back, fires up the right-hand side and into the hands of Chris Curtis. The defense is not able to stop him. The Legion get the first down inside the red zone.
I didn't understand the defensive coverage on that one. They played so far back and so deep, right, for something that was so short, especially the way Vancouver's been playing, right? They've been playing somewhere between the 5 to 7 yard, route game the entire game. For them to play deep, it just didn't make sense to me.
Brown to Redford once again. Redford able to surge forward for a gain of 8. 2nd down and 2. I'm pretty sure everybody in the league knows who's number 1 in receiving yards all time. That is Houston's DR Sim. Do you know who is number 2? These are the tough questions, Gerald. Any guesses?
Oh, Brett Killian's away a couple yards from
No, he's number 3. Tiberius Bovine, currently
the tight end.
The tight end with 13.
Who's now a fullback?
79 yards. He's now a fullback and has no yards yet today. Robert Redford's got some yards though. 1st down and goal from the 3. Yep, Tiberius Bovine. So he's still an active player. He could still get some yards, but I am keeping an eye on his stats today too. He's got no stats to speak of. No receiving yards whatsoever. So Brett Killian's still just 3 yards away, but he might get it and lose it all in the same couple minute span. Robert Redford, though, surges forward to the goal line, and look at that, Gerald. Your favorite goal line has a ball placed on it once again. 2nd and goal from the goal line.
R60 dude hates me. He really does.
He hates points. It's like there will be no scoring.
Well, one thing I know right here is 2 things are going to happen. It's going to be an out to Killian or a dump off to Robert Redford.
We'll see what happens. Brown doesn't do either one. Instead, he tries to sling it in to his tight end, and that one goes incomplete. Kind of trying to make a diving sort of sliding catch there, James Walters, and didn't work out. 3rd and goal.
And I swung and missed twice on one play, if you can believe that.
It's going to be one of these 2 options. Nope. Sure wasn't. 3rd down and goal. One more shot at it. Another big 3rd down for DC. Pressure coming. Down he goes. A huge play by the Dragon defense as they are able to prevent a touchdown. Billy Blanks with the sack.
That was again right there by those corners coming up in the flat and waiting for that pass to be dumped off. And Christian Brown just had nowhere to go. It seemed like his only option was to dump it off to Redford, and he didn't feel comfortable tossing it out there with the defender so close, so he just had to take the sack.
23-yard field goal time coming for 2 win. Field goal is up. It's good from 23. So Vancouver able to put 3 more points on the board. 24 now to 16 over the Dragons. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back for the exciting finish of this game. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to DC. 7:23 to go in the ball game after another long Vancouver drive. DC returns this one out to the 21-yard line, and we've got another game break from Sioux Falls. Cameron Irvine, what do you got?
Thank you, Mike. St. Green, it's London's defense stepping up today.
Yeah, Sioux Falls going for it on 4th down here late in the game. They hand it off to Duncan, and Jeff Gagne steps up in the hole, makes a play, turns it over on down, and London's trying to close this one out, Cam.
Knights trying to get to 5-0. Back to Mike and Gerald in DC.
Thank you, Cam. 3 receiver set, offset eye, synergy up top. Oh, that one's incomplete. I thought he had a good connection on the out route, but swatted down Josh Gill, his intended target. And Gerald, this is, we're almost halfway through the 4th quarter, and this is only the 4th possession of the second half.
Yeah, both these teams on their drives have chewed up some clock. Vancouver had the ball for over 6 minutes on their last drive.
Yeah, I mean, a total of over 9 minutes between the 2 possessions that they had in the second half. Kevin Samuels running off tackle to the right this time, getting a gain of 3 will set them up with a 3rd down and 7. And, they don't have to score on this possession. It's still a 1-score game, but if they don't, they definitely need their defense to prevent a Vancouver score, or they're going to be in trouble. So big 3rd down coming up for the DC offense. Synergy in the gun with 5 wide. Fires over the middle into traffic and incomplete. Well defended. And it'll be a 4th down.
Yeah, that 2nd down call before that last 3rd down play right there didn't do them any favors with running the ball. Yeah, they got positive yardage, but it didn't put them in a 3rd and short or a 3rd and manageable, right, where it opens up the playbook a little bit better. But now it's all on the DC defense to be able to stop Vancouver fairly quickly, because they put together one of those 6-minute drives. It's game over.
Yeah, exactly. We had a 3-minute drive, then a 5.5-minute drive, then a 6-minute drive, and then a drive that took about 45 seconds off the clock. So that's definitely not what DC needed. And now with Vancouver back in possession of the ball, the playbook's wide open. I mean, they can do whatever they want to do. Seemingly everything's been working for them so far in this one. Robert Redford's only had to carry the ball 9 times for 51 yards, but it's been the Robert Redford show. He's also got 20 receptions and 145 yards through the air. Brown says, forget long possessions. I'm just going to go deep over the middle. Hurls it deep to Chris Curtis all the way down to the 24-yard line.
What better time for the Vancouver offense to take a shot deep than when everybody thinks that they're just going to try and milk the clock out and kind of dink and dunk and do whatever they've been doing all game, right, to get them down. And now they're just in instant field goal range.
Big gain by Curtis sets Vancouver up in great position. I mean, 8-point lead right now, and now in field goal range. They could easily make it a 2-score possession. Just got to take care of the football. And a free play as the Dragon defender jumped off sides, I believe. And we'll get the call. And it is indeed an offsides call against the Dragons. Called on John Kerry.
I guess if you can take any positive out of that, if there is any positive to be taken out of that, it stops the clock. Don't know, like I said, don't know if that's a positive. Well, oh, no, it didn't.
Probably not,
it's still ticking.
It's rolling again. It stopped it temporarily. There's a brief stoppage, but now the clock ticketh away. Brown pumps, hit, sacked again. If there's been one positive from this Dragon team so far, it's been this defensive line. John Gary, he got penalized for the offsides and then makes those yards back up with the sack.
It makes up that and one more, right? And that's another good indication of DC, right? The way that covered that screen pass there, it forced Christian Brown to hold on to the ball.
Vancouver in control. Redford with the handoff. Gets tackled at the 20-yard line, 3rd down and 5. The SFL produces over 400 live events each year, but don't miss community content creators and their creations. Catch SFL Nights with AJ Stryker, say it with your chest, around the SFL and more, covering Season 19 and beyond. To check out archived versions of community shows, visit simulationfl.net and click the logo for your favorite form of SFL entertainment on our homepage. At 3rd down and 4, Brown tried to hit Blackwell, and it falls to the turf, stopping the clock and bringing up a 4th down. So to win will come out for the field goal try, which is almost a gimme for his range. It'll make it a 2-score possession, Gerald, but still keep it somewhat within reach for the Dragons. There's still a lot of time left here.
Yeah, they're going to have a sense of urgency compared to what they did on their last drive. Looked like they didn't have much urgency about them, right? So they're going to have to come out and, they basically got to abandon the run game because they got to move the ball down the field quick.
Yeah, I think abandoning the run game is fine, though. Kevin Say out on the very first play of the ball game. Kevin Samuels, he's done okay. I mean, it hasn't been obviously the same sort of production that you'd get out of Say, but 9 rushing attempts, 31 yards. He's averaging 3.4 yards per carry. Has it been used moderately in the passing game, but I believe you're 100% spot on. It's time to let him head back to his favorite place, the Pine, and see what Sebastian Energy can do for the offense. Return taken up to the 23-yard line. That is where the offense will take back over. We've got more football action on Next Level Sports. More SFL continues next as Seattle gets its first national television game as heavy underdogs on the road in Baltimore, plus live look-ins on Queen City and Indianapolis. For a channel guide and more about NXT, you can visit NLSE.com. 4 wide receivers and a tight end, no running backs on the field. Synergy, short pass over the middle, complete, good for a gain of 8. And I think wisely, Gerald, they'll go straight into the hurry-up here.
Yeah, that's definitely what they have to do.
Ronnie Shanahan with that last catch. This one up to Lauren Percoco. Gets the catch, gets the first down. They want to try to score as quickly as they can, but efficiently too. Synergy steps up, shakes off the first sack, can't shake off the second one. Brought down at the 34-yard line, a loss of 1. Just coverage sack right there, Gerald.
Yeah. He's got to find an open guy, and his receivers got to do better at getting open.
Synergy. Short drop again. Back to Percoco, nearly taken away. Falls to the turf, incomplete, 3rd and 11.
Yeah. The route tree structure of that particular play there that they were kind of stuck in, I don't know if it suits them kind of pushing the ball down the field like they would like. So it's kind of good that the ball was incomplete, so they can kind of reset themselves and get themselves in a better passing type formation.
5 wide on 3rd and 11. 4 down territory, I'd say. Synergy down the right sideline. Oh, he's got his target. Complete all the way to the 43-yard line in Vancouver territory.
He threw it where only Mike Churchill can grab it.
Synergy back to the skies. Pressure coming again. Hit as he throws deep down the right sideline and straight into the arms of the cameraman, who is not an eligible receiver. 2nd down and 10.
That was great coverage by the DBs of Vancouver and allowed Judas Sessi enough time to get in there and contest that throw by Synergy.
Five receiving targets on the field once again. 2nd and 10. Synergy over the middle into coverage, incomplete. 3rd down and 10, trying to hit Churchill again.
Yeah, with Vancouver playing that press man, that was an opportunity for Synergy to maybe call a hot route to get one of his guys, kind of run a fade route or a streak down the field and hopefully get behind the defenders, but it didn't look like he did so.
So another big third down for DC. They'll go back to 5 wide. Synergy 29 of 42, over 300 yards on the night. Synergy throws over the middle, wide open, and falling down to the turf at the 24-yard line is his target. Josh Gill with another catch. Synergy should probably be jogging a smidge faster. Gets to the line, takes the snap, goes down the right side and out of bounds at the 1. First and goal from the 1. A nice catch by Churchill.
Vancouver was playing aggressive on defense for those last 2 plays, and it gave DC an opportunity to start pushing the ball down the field, and they were able to do so. Oh, Lord, I don't know.
Yeah, Andy Hamilton doesn't know either as he throws the challenge flag.
Well, man, whenever that happens, man, like the home scoreboard guy has got to keep that footage off of the scoreboard.
I don't know. I think he got his right foot in here. You only need the 1 foot in. Catch, right foot was still down. Left foot, I don't know. Left and right's tough. We'll see.
I think it's coming back.
I think it stands. We'll see. And you lose. The ruling on the field stands. I don't know why I took satisfaction in that. I apologize. But
I'll buy you a crawfish dinner.
Sold. I'll take it. So the ruling on the field stands. Probably worth a challenge. Vancouver really didn't have a lot to lose there and plenty to gain. Still up 2 scores here, up by 11. So DC first and goal from the 1. Synergy gets it to Kevin Samuels. Samuels turns upfield into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. Kevin Samuels putting some points on the board for DC.
Yeah, that one was somewhat a bit too easy for Samuels. It looked kind of shaky toward the end, but he was able to get in there untouched. He was kind of wide open on the edge right there. Good for DC. Now they got to go ahead and I don't even think they have to onside kick this with the amount of time. I do believe they're going to go for 2 here, but I don't think they have to onside kick this right here with them having the timeouts that they have.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go for 2, and I think you're right. They don't have to go for the onside, but I think they will. But first, let's see what they do with this. Synergy back of the end zone. That one's incomplete, so they do not get the 2. Vancouver out in front by 5, 27-22 over the Dragons, and almost a certainty, Gerald, we're going to see. Yeah, we'll see the onside kick coming up. With 3 timeouts, I'd rather see them kick it deep. Their defense has played well. They have allowed 27 points, and Vancouver's moved the ball with relative ease, but they have picked off Christian Brown. We'll see. Yeah, Vancouver's able to get the ball, and now they have it at the DC 39-yard line. So, only 5 yards away or so from being able to put 3 more points on the board and make it 8-point game again.
Right. So I just think them kicking it deeper, to give them a chance at more stops before they get them in field goal range. And plus, they have 4 timeouts if you're counting the 2-minute warning.
First down and 10. Brown gets it out to Redford. Redford goes for a gain of 6. We've got another game break from SFL Studios, Sioux Falls, London. What do you got for us, Cam?
Thank you, Mike. Sioux Falls gave London a scare, but falls short.
Yeah, on the onside kick, you have to score a field goal to get within 6. JT Lane with a bump with a recovery here. Sioux Falls gave it a great shot, got within the red zone and came up short, Cam.
16-10, London the final. They improved to 5-0. Back to Mike and Gerald.
Reigning undefeated London Knights. Great season for them so far. Brown hands it off to Redford, looking to tick away the final seconds of this ball game. 5-point lead. It's not over yet, but we'll see. The defense has a lot to do here on this 3rd down and 2 coming up on the other side of the 2-minute break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. We'll be back after this. 2 minutes to go in this one. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith, Justin Reside, Ron Haynes with us on stats. Cameron Irvine producing. Robert Redford, he's going to get this first down easily and more. Steps out of bounds. So DC won't have to burn their first time out yet, but it'll be a first down and 10 inside the red zone. 5-point lead. Gerald, at this point, they just need to hope for some sort of turnover.
Right, Robert Redford did him a favor right there, kind of tripping himself out of bounds there. But, yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to use all their timeouts, and they're gonna have to hope that they hold Vancouver to a field goal attempt here, because if they score a touchdown, it's over, it's done.
231 all-purpose yards for Robert Redford. His day's probably not over. Ooh. Oh, quick sack to be had by the Dragons. That defender got right back into the backfield and got the sack. DC will burn their first time out. Jose Fuentes in on the sack.
Man, he was in there quick.
Very quick.
He didn't have a chance to turn to even try and throw.
Robert Redford, 22 targets, 22 catches. I bet we might see more. Now he's going to have a handoff here. Oh, and tackle for a loss. 3rd and 16. DC burns their second timeout. So it ain't over yet, Gerald. 3rd and 16. If they hold them to a field goal, it's still a one-score ball game.
Right. Look, and they found the gaps to be able to get Robert Redford in the backfield on that one too. But like, there's still time left. If you're Vancouver, do you throw here, or do you just play it safe and get your field goal attempt out of it?
You know, I would throw. I would either throw that swing route to Redford that's been working, or I would throw the out route to Killian that's been working. But it doesn't look like they're in the formation for either. So what do we know? Brown under center. He will indeed throw. Pressure coming again. Unloads it and incomplete. So, wow. Well, that couldn't have gone better for the Dragons. The clock is stopped. They keep one timeout. They're going to force the field goal now. And they've still got a shot to try to make a game-tying drive here, Gerald.
Yeah, and I think Christian Brown did the best thing with the ball on that one. It just looked like he threw it away. Not that he missed his wide receiver. I just think he threw it away where nobody was at, just to be able to, keep himself from either taking a sack and fumbling or possibly throwing an interception.
40-yard field goal attempt by Chance to win. From the left hash, kick is on its way. It is good from 40. Vancouver out in front, 30-22 over the Dragons. Coming up on the 8 p.m. Music post-game update, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green wrap up this clash between the Legion and the Dragons, plus first reactions to the important London Sioux Falls matchup tonight. It's all coming up on the post-game update. But first, and we got an exciting finish ahead here. Minute 41 to go. One timeout left in the books for the Dragons. Scott brings this one right up the gut and up to the 23-yard line. So 77 yards from the goal line. A field goal does absolutely nothing for them whatsoever. 4 down territory the rest of the way out. Sabaz Synergy, well, he doesn't have quite as many passing attempts as he had the last time these teams met, Gerald, but he still slung the rock 45 times, connected on 32 of them. 71.1% completion percentage, 329 yards, has a pair of touchdowns. He needs one more. And starting out with a pass to Lauren Percoco, that's a great way to get it going there. A big catch and run by Percoco, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock with 1:31 at the DC 40.
And that was a great way to start that drive. I wasn't a fan of the formation they came out in to start with, but Lauren Percoco finding space on the out route and was able to catch it and then turn it upfield and then be able to get out of bounds to stop the clock to be able to save their timeout.
Synergy struts his way back up to the line. 3 receivers on the line, 2 backs in the backfield. Short drop by Synergy, out route down to the bottom. A short completion, and stepping out of bounds is Gus Scott. 2nd down and 4. And Gerald, I don't hate that. It's a nice gain of 6. You obviously need to get more than that, but there's still time on their side. 1:28 to go.
Right. That whole play took 3 seconds. Right? He's able to stop, save their timeout, and then they're approaching midfield right now. They got 6 yards out of it. It's a great way to just kind of inch down the field now that they got that chunk yardage off of the first play of the drive.
The receivers out to the right-hand side. Synergy gets it out to Samuels. Samuels is able to get the first down. Tackled inbounds, though. Minute 20 to go. Clock will continue to roll, but they are in Vancouver territory.
He's got to know where the sidelines at and get out.
Synergy back to Samuels behind the line of scrimmage. He stays inbounds by a lot. Yeah, and now 2nd down and 10 as we approach the 1 minute mark. Synergy to Samuels. Samuels, can he get out of bounds? No, and it's now 3rd down and 8, so they will call that final timeout. 3rd down and 9, excuse me. Samuels himself calls that 3rd timeout. They will regroup for this big 3rd down play.
Yeah, that was not a very good set of plays there for them. I mean, it looked promising early on, man, but when your linebackers are out there your offensive linemen are out there throwing no hitters on the defenders, it's definitely not going to be successful.
Two tries to get this first down. 3rd down and 9, 5 wide. Synergy down the left-hand side, jumping and making the catch at the 18-yard line. And they'll hurry back to the line. 44 seconds to go. 1st down and 10 in the red zone.
I don't think the defender saw the ball right up atop his head.
Synergy over the middle.
Oh, wow.
That one's caught. 1st and goal. Hurrying back to the line. 30 seconds to go. 1st and goal from the 5. They'll need to get the touchdown and a 2 to tie and send us to overtime. Synergy throws it into the middle. Wide open and incomplete. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you probably should punch the ground. Oh, had an opportunity right there to score, Gerald, and missed it.
Ah, man.
Jesse Glumper, the wide receiver, one of the backup receivers in on that one, and
that catch could have got him paid.
Yeah, it's not going to, though, because he did not catch that one. 2nd down and goal. Synergy over the middle. And it's a touchdown! DC gets the touchdown. Lauren Percoco with the catch, and we are a 2-point conversion away from tying this one up with 23 seconds left to go in regulation.
I think she put her hand out and kept that from going into Mark Lopez's hands. If she doesn't reach out with that one hand, the game is over.
Hashtag throw it to the tight end, am I right?
Right. No gloves.
Beautiful.
She goes old school.
Oh, yeah. Who needs gloves? I think, I wear gloves, but anyway, big 2-point conversion here. They need this desperately. Synergy steps up. Just take it yourself, Synergy. He does. The 2-point conversion is successful, and we've got a tie ball game.
He saw, that was amazing. He saw that everybody was covered and says, I'm going to take it myself because they leave in the middle wide open.
Yeah, he stepped up in that pocket and said, wait a second, there's nobody here.
No SFL, hardly any SFL quarterbacks tucked it and run. It just shows you how much this game right here means to Synergy.
That little scamper's got to be one of the plays of the week so far. Was it a flashy play? No, but that was the most important play for DC yet tonight. Kick return taken back up to the 29-yard line. A great return by Blackwell. And, Vancouver still has 2 timeouts left in 15 seconds. They have the opportunity right now to get in chance 2 wins range for a game-winning field goal. So we'll see what they come out with in this. But they got to be careful, Gerald. They don't want to throw a pick. Because if they throw one here, they're already in DC's range. So interesting to see what they do. Brown will throw. Quick pass over the middle, and just like that, Chris Curtis gets them all the way up to the 49-yard line. Vancouver will burn their 2nd timeout. They've got to get probably, what do you think, about to the 35, 36-yard line at minimum.
Yeah, I think they need another about 16 yards, and I think they can get it because that play didn't take a whole lot of time off the clock, especially with Vancouver having that 1 timeout left. I think they can do it, but it's we're on the borderline here where, Coach Hamilton might just chunk it Hail Mary style, or not. I like this. I like this setup. DC should be playing a little bit further back. They shouldn't be playing man right now.
Offset eye in the backfield, but Brown will throw. Brown down to the bottom, and it's taken away, picked off at the 35-yard line, and DC puts an end to a possible game-winning field goal in regulation. Peanut Say with the pick.
Yeah, say, you say what? Man, what? We're gonna pick it off and give ourselves a chance to win this game before regulation's out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do here, but trying to hit Brett Killian, that would have put him into second place in receiving yards all time, but not to be, as Peanut Say picks that one off. 3 wide receiver set for the Dragons. Synergy throws over the middle, and that one's picked off. Still a second to go, and we're going to see a Hail Mary now. What a wild finish.
You know, one of the weird things about it, it looks like they both ran the same type of play and got picked off. And he just beat the receiver to the route. That's a hell of a play by the DB. He ran the route. He knew what was coming, and he ran that route for the wide receiver and got there before the wide receiver did.
He sure did. Major Key with his second interception of the ball game. And that sets up this Hail Mary try. This DC line has been in the face of Brown all day long, though. Multiple sacks. See if they can get to him here. Brown steps up, fires deep towards the end zone, and picked off one more time to end regulation. Gerald, unbelievable. 4 quarters wasn't enough to get this one done. I thought you said we weren't going to see fireworks. It might not be quite the same as the first time these teams met, but these are fireworks to me. 30-30 after 4 quarters of play. Put your 5s up, folks. We've got overtime coming up. Four quarters now in the books. One more to decide the fate of this game. Gerald, it's not quite the 1,200 or so yards we saw, but we're over 800 yards passing. These teams like airing it out. Dragons will get the ball to start the overtime possession. And Sebastian Synergy back out onto the field now as we see the stats from our regulation now in the books. Passing yards aplenty.
Yeah, and they are approaching 1,000 combined yards between the two, and I do believe we're going to see them eclipse 1,000 yards combined yards between the two.
Kick return brought up to the 24-yard line, and this overtime kind of opens the playbook back up for them a little bit, but with Kevin Samuels in at running back still, for the duration of the game, and Synergy just red hot right now. I say you just keep it in his hands and let him do what he's been doing, and it looks like that's the plan. Synergy 40 of 55 for 413 yards in regulation, 3 touchdowns and a couple of picks. Synergy, pressure coming down, he goes. Sacked by Gerald Giudice, his second sack of the ball game. Loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, he got in there so quick. Synergy didn't have a chance to even take any reads to throw it to anybody.
Second down and 14. Synergy hands it off to Samuels. Samuels hit behind the line, and he will go down for a loss of 1. Third down and 15. First score wins. Doesn't matter how that score comes about. So, huge opportunity for the team that receives this kickoff, which obviously was DC, if they can keep this one going.
Yeah, if Samuels would have just went to the took that a little bit to the outside, I think he had some yards there.
Synergy trying to get the first down, and he does. Churchill all the way down to midfield. Now with 458 yards of passing, first down and 10 from midfield. Big catch by Mike Churchill.
I'm not sure Vancouver has had an answer for that particular route that gets run in the corner like that all game long, especially in this formation, that offensive formation that they came out in.
Mike Churchill now with over 100 yards on the day. 7 receptions. Only thing he's missing, a touchdown. Could we see it on this drive? We'll see. Synergy goes over the middle, a jumping catch for 8. Keeping the drive alive as they inch closer and closer to field goal range. Gus Scott with the catch.
And you can see how different Vancouver played defensively on that last play as they did the previous play because they don't want to get beat deep. They're trying to keep everything in front of them.
Over-under in this game was 59.5. We got 60. Kevin Samuels gets the first down and more. He's in field goal range at this point, down to the 26-yard line. That was Kevin Samuels' biggest run of his career, Gerald.
Samuels took my notes, bounced it to the outside. He almost was, it was so slow, but he got there and he got the blocks he needed to be able to get themselves into field goal range.
16-yard scamper down the right sideline up to the 26-yard line. Synergy, 466 yards. I mean, at this point, just center this ball and let Pautee kick this one in for the game winner. But now Synergy's going to throw, steps up, fires out route up top. Good for the first down to the 16-yard line. First down and 10 inside the red zone, connecting with Josh Gill once again.
I think Stephen Mullinex, the head coach of the DC Dragons, need to consider kicking this field goal. And there you go. He bringing out Pautee. And I tell you, if he makes this kick, this is going to be an amazing win for DC, given the hurdle they had to start the game.
32 yards from the left hash. Pautee has the snap down. Kick is on its way, and it's good. The Dragons are able to overcome adversity and come away with the win, 33-30 here at home. They lost Kevin Say on the first play from scrimmage, and they were able to fight their way through and get the win.
And once Kevin Say went down early in the game, we said it early on that they're going to have to lean on their veteran quarterback in Shabazz Synergy to be able to propel them to the win. And he was able to do that, being down 11 points in the late in the fourth quarter, right? With like 4 or 5 minutes left. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
And then if you look at the stats here, right, and what I highlighted early on, right, in the pregame was their turnovers. The team who was going to protect the ball better was going to likely win this game, and it seems like that held true with the way the statistics fell out.
Yeah, absolutely, Gerald. You know, there was 3 interceptions at the end of regulation, but a lot of those were just desperation. Like, let's see if we can, score, before having to go to overtime sort of passes. So, you can't blame the teams for trying. But, DC getting the ball with 1:37 to go in the fourth quarter. They orchestrated a 9-play, 84-yard drive that resulted in a 5-yard touchdown pass. And then the Shabazz Synergy 2-point conversion on that little sneak. And that's not how that play was drawn up, but that's how they got it done. Got it tied up, and then 7 plays, 60 yards later in overtime, Vancouver never getting to touch the ball in overtime, Gerald. DC got it down to field goal range, put it on the leg of their kicker, and won the game.
Yeah, I think it came down to whoever had the ball last was going to win that game, especially in overtime, because they played so clean, mostly throughout the game, and both teams were efficient in everything that they did offensively. And coming from especially all the possessions that were had in the fourth quarter, right, compared to what we had in the third quarter, which was each team had 1 possession in the third quarter, just eating clock up, and in the fourth quarter we had a whole lot of scoring happening and touchdowns and everything else like that. So a great win by DC. Way to have them lose one of their best players early on in the game and be able to lean on their veteran players on the team to be able to step up and come out with the win.
Vancouver will fall to 3-2 on the season. DC improves to 4-1. Next up for Vancouver, they return back home and host Carolina. DC heads into the bye week, and what a better way to do it. In week 7, they will be on the road in Los Angeles to take on the Lycans. Coming up next, Seattle visits Baltimore. Andy Hamilton and Nate Hall on the call right here on Next Level Sports. Bonus coverage Indianapolis at Queen City with Damon Simeon and Eddie Gage. Your player of the game in this one, how could it be anybody else but Sabaj Synergy for his performance? 42 of 57, 477 yards, 3 touchdowns, triple-digit quarterback rating, and a 2-point conversion run. Why not? This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Final score, DC 33, Vancouver 30. For Gerald Smith, Justin Reside, Ron Haynes, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who will always be with me in spirit, I am Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us. Be kind to one another and always choose happy. Have a great night, everybody. We're out.
Well, first of all, Cam, a couple of amazing finishes we had. One over in Sioux Falls with London that came down to the last play, and then we just saw a great finish with this game here over in DC. DC lost Kevin Say on the very first play of the game. Woe is me. How are we going to win this game? But another Kevin stepped up late in this game, made a huge run in overtime to get these guys in field goal range. Another pass play, get them in, in a little closer. Party came on for its fourth field goal of the game. DC walks away with an incredible comeback win. They hung tough, all game long, and it paid off for them in the end.
It was an amazing game, and thanks for filling in for me there when my microphone wasn't working. But yeah, DC, Vancouver, phenomenal game. That's all you want on national television, and what a game for DC to get the win without Kevin Say. It was truly a remarkable and terrific performance. All right, coming up next, well, I'm not sure. Not sure we're going to see a 33-30 overtime. But if we do, Mike, it might be one of the greatest games we've ever seen because Seattle, heavy underdogs in this one against Baltimore. How do the Nemesis get a win here coming up?
Any given sim day, Cam, that's how they get a
Yes.
win. Anything could possibly happen. I mean, their work is cut out for them for sure. Going over to Baltimore to play the great Baltimore Vultures at home, only have lost 6 games at home in the entire existence of their franchise. And it's going to be a difficult task, but can anything happen? Yes. These guys come in a 17.5-point underdog, one of the largest spreads we've ever seen in this league. And rightfully so in this game. It's going to be a tough task, but anything can happen.
Talked with Jack's Data earlier this week, asked where that compares in terms of the point spreads. Carolina was a 17.5-point dog a few seasons ago, but before that, Portland was a 23.5-point underdog to Louisiana. That's the last time we saw something over 17.5. Part of our bonus coverage coming up, Indianapolis and Queen City will get underway about 9:30, about 15 minutes behind due to that overtime game in D.C. But this is an important game for both of these teams who have shown some bright spots this season but have kind of struggled here in the early going.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the bright spots for both teams, and particularly Indianapolis, they had the greatest comeback in SFL history a couple of weeks ago against Canton, coming back from a 35-3 deficit, coming back to win that game. 33-3 deficit, coming back to win that game. Great performance. But what I would like to see from both of these teams, get these running games going. Brad Jones, the great free agent pickup from Houston, came over to Indianapolis. He's only averaging about 3.6 per carry, and Jet Zero, he's averaging 5.1 yards a carry, but he's not getting a lot of carries. I mean, we used to be accustomed to seeing him pound the rock, 25, 30 carries a game. I'd like to see more out of that from him to get both these offenses going, and one reason for Indianapolis to keep the defense off the field because they're struggling giving up points as well with their young defense.
We'll have live look-ins on that game, and we've got Seattle and Baltimore in your spotlight. Andy Hamilton, Nate Hall on the call when we come back. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music, and if this game is like the other one, buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. Mike and I will see you back here at the half.